again, being young and moving from one state to another.
Even going down to Alton, that's where I really don't want to take my shirt off because Alton, they don't care. You get Joan, Flame, all that other stuff back then. So I was, like I said, I was shy and insecure, so I didn't want to take my shirt off.
Yeah, now you can't keep it on. Things like you were an active kid, you was outside.
Yeah, I did a lot of stuff I didn't understand. Like, that's why I said in one of the episodes you was in, like, we judge our parents because we don't know what's going on or what they've been through, because it felt like when I was growing up, you was going like a lot, and I didn't know why, so I kind of was like
your second semester came from your freshman year, and from there on, you just was doing everything you was supposed to do. Like, what was it to make you click? Or
so going into ninth grade, I was a vegetarian. Just like working out, you're not gonna see the results in a day or two. You just gotta wait, and during that whole process, you always gotta have faith, and that's what's gonna keep you going, because you know that deep inside, you're making the change. It's all about the mental. So once you... What's good, family? It's the Generational Health and Self-Love Podcast, and we're coming at you with another episode. And this episode is going to be a little different, just a little different.
Yeah, on this episode, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Today, I'll be asking the questions. I'll be asking Rodney's about his childhood and the things he went through and the things he overcame. And we'll just, after we do that, we'll discuss some of the things that I went through and compare the two and see if we did a good job of trying to break the cycle. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So, I mean, do you got anything else you want to tell them before we get into it?
It's gonna be my side this time, and it's not gonna be nowhere near as long as my dad's passed and whatnot, because the age difference it just won't make sense. But so keep in mind, I do still live with my dad, so y'all can get a little shorter version of everything. But we're gonna keep it real though. It's always gonna be real.
Definitely. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. We're gonna start it off with the first question being, where were you born in?
Well, I was born in Alton, Illinois. Yes, sir.
Okay, and can you tell us what year? Do you mind telling us what year you was born?
The best year there is 2003. Okay. Shout out to the 03 babies. Yes, sir.
2003. So let's see. What do you remember from your early years in Alton? I know you was real young, so it's only so much you can remember, but if anything, what do you remember?
Well, I do remember I didn't go to school down there, but I remember as a kid, they said I always used to do random stuff. Like, my mom told me a story about how when I was little, like maybe like 3, 4, 2, maybe something like that, I had crawled from my mom's house to my auntie house at night, in the middle of the night. I don't know how far it was exactly. I could go ask her after the podcast and whatnot. But I crawled from her house to my auntie house in the middle of the night and got there safely. And they found me, in a bush by the house, or I think it was at the doorstep or something like that. But other than that, a lot of my memories from when I was like, before we left, because we left it when I was 4, as we spoke about it when we talked about your childhood.
Yes.
It wasn't too much, but I had a friend I used to hang out with. Was that then? No, that wasn't then. But that's all I remember since before we went down, before you decided to leave.
Yeah, well, speaking on that incident, I think you were 2 years old, and it was quite a little distance. It was far enough for your age and at the time that you left. So your mom says you were sleepwalking. You only remember walking over there for real. You remember pieces and bits of it or whatever. So, yeah, you did do that. I think you may have did it once before, but not going that far. This is the farthest you ever went. So that was 2 years old when you did that.
2.
So those is pretty much your real memories of Alton. You really don't have, because like I said, you moved when you was 4 years old, so it's only so much.
That's what I remember before I was, at 4, before we finally left for real. But I still got, we'll go into the...
Once again, being young and moving from one state to another, moving all the way from the Alton, St. Louis, Missouri area to Atlanta, Georgia at 4 years old. No other family in Atlanta, Georgia area.
Yeah.
So, was that, did you really understand what was going on at the time, or you just was too young to even really realize the transition, or how was that?
I probably would say I probably was too young to realize, everything how different everything was because I hadn't even experienced Alton enough to even know, probably the difference. But I will say like going from, cause I don't remember if when we did leave, if I stayed with you for how many years? 'Cause I know eventually I moved with my mom. I don't remember exactly at what point did I move with my mom. Cause then at another point, my mom was with us even too. That was probably like something not traditional. You don't usually see that. That's not usually something that happens. And
What's that?
when my mom was started staying with us, I don't know. I don't remember when.
With us?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What happened was I moved down and you guys came with me, right? And your mom stayed back so she can finish school.
That's
she
when
graduated, right?
4 years old.
Yeah,
right?
when you was 4. So then your mom came down after she graduated and she was moving down. And what happened was her place wasn't ready.
Right.
Even though they told her, yeah, come on down, she had the U-Haul, brung all her stuff, and they said it was going to be a few more weeks for her place was ready. So me and Maya, my wife, told your mom it was okay that she could stay with us until her place got ready. So yeah, that's how that happened. So she didn't stay with us for a long, just long enough to get her place ready, so she didn't have to drive all the way back with the U-Haul, and it just would have been too much. So
Right.
that's how that went down. So when you was growing up in Georgia, were you ever approached by any gangs or anything in your?
Nah, not no gangs. I wasn't approached by gangs, but I was approached. I wasn't approached, but there's wannabe gangs and people that want to group together. But
Yeah.
no, not no gangs for real.
So when you was growing up, were you in neighborhoods where there was a lot of violence going on, a lot of police being called, or anything, shootings, or did you experience any of that, or was you would you consider more of a safe environment? And so how was that pretty much what
Yeah,
you
each of the
experienced?
neighborhoods we lived in, from the mom's to yours, each one I went to, it's never really no like a lot of police gearing down on people or gun violence or whatnot. It's really just chill, and I one thing I do really appreciate from my childhood is when me and my brothers used to always go to this creek that's you already know that's by the house. It used to be like Tarzan out there swinging on ropes that we had connected to a tree that would go down like a cliff, and he'd jump on the rope and he'd swing across and all that different stuff, and playing with the neighbors, basketball, kickball, freeze tag, the bikes and all that. So that's definitely something I appreciate. And yeah, so what you said, yeah, no really police things going up.
I know, I do remember that creek. Y'all used to be gone all day long, come home with mud, water, and maybe a lizard or two. And you guys been at the creek all day. But I really, you guys may not have known, but I really appreciated that y'all was able to really go out and adventure and be young children, growing into young teenagers and young adults. Like y'all really got to experience outdoors and having fun and really kind of just create your own world within your environment. So that was pretty good to watch and see. So, so coming to Atlanta, you came into something different than what you were going through in the Alton as far as your living situation. And when you came to Atlanta, you wasn't just with me or just with your mom. You had your now stepmom, and then you had a few brothers and sisters that you didn't have prior to moving to Atlanta. So how was that transition? Was that hard? Was that something that you took a while for you to really understand and then come to appreciate, or how was that?
Yeah, it was definitely. I feel like it was a gift and a curse. Not a gift and a curse, but it was good and bad, like everything in life. But it was definitely like hard to, you so young, so I don't really know
Yeah.
anything but what I was, giving y'all, being with them and whatnot. But it was the main thing. It was fun having siblings. We used to do all the stuff all together and whatnot. But I think we used to go back and forth a lot when it came to like um, I guess regular kid stuff sometimes, like cleaning up, chores, and you know, being, cause it was Ty, Trey, Kenzie, and Emerald, but since they were Maya's kids, and then it was me and I think Emerald sometimes, cause Emerald didn't always live with us. It was kind of like, I don't know, a battle between like who does
My mom, my dad.
yeah, the mom, that type of thing, and things like that. It was always a battle. I think I feel like it was definitely something that helped me become more mature because I feel like you don't usually see certain stuff like that all the time because it makes you understand more things and be more open to realizing certain stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like that helps with becoming more mature and understanding more things.
Oh, definitely, because you, as a child, you really, it looks like you don't really have a choice. So you just in a situation, you're like, well, dog, I didn't know. Well, I thought, and it's like, okay, well, this is. So you just kind of trying to process the whole thing. It's kind of like, what's going on? So, making that transition, like for me at the time, my whole thought process was get away, because if I don't, my children in the life that I want to have with them is in jeopardy. So my best thing is for me, with all the stuff that I have going on in my life and in this area, was to move and get as far away as I could. And at the time, what I was dealing with was I had people in my life that wasn't being loyal and being genuine. So it was just like, that's why I say watch your friends and watch people, even some of your relatives, because people will put you in a position to where you can actually be hurt out of trusting people, being loyal to people, and thinking that people have your best interests at heart because of the relationship that y'all have developed over the years. So you figure, oh, I can trust this person, I can do this and I can do that. Mm-hmm. And I've seen so many people put themselves in situations where people that they love and that they trust left them stranded, left them for dead. And I just didn't want to be one of those people because of my surroundings and the circumstances that I have put myself in prior to moving. It just was very toxic.
Yeah.
It was very toxic. And being at the point where you just don't understand what's going on, can't figure out, like, all these things are going on around me, and just like, I don't even know how to deal with them. I don't even know who to talk to. I don't know what to do. So my thing was, you know what? I planned on leaving a few years back. It's time to make that move. Because you tell yourself, well, I'm gonna do it when the time is right. I'm gonna do it when this happens. I'm gonna do it when that happens. And the more you put it off, the harder it's gonna be to move. So I just jumped up, and you know what? I'm gone. Let me go. Mm-hmm. So my thing was to save my life and also give my children something bigger and better, because I just didn't want you guys to be within that same circle of violence, toxic relationships, and I mean not just boyfriend and girlfriend, but just family, friends. I mean even teachers and some people that you look up to. It was just so much negativity, And not to say that everything was bad, but it was a lot of negativity. So once again, like I said, my job was to try to create uh, a better environment, a better upbringing for my children, and at the same time, figure out how I would be a part of their life moving forward. So
No,
coming down, coming into that situation, and growing up. I know you was a big gamer. I know you liked playing games, as far as like the Sega, the
Xbox,
the Xbox, and then the PlayStation 2, and so on and so forth. Were you good at games, or the games, or was you just a big hobby of yours?
Back then, playing games was like a way to have fun with, family. It's really a connection between you and whoever you playing the game with, or just to entertain yourself when you know what I'm saying, bored or whatnot. But really, the best thing that I got from games was playing with my one of my older brothers, Ty. It was like it was our like routine every night. You know what I'm saying? You used to, especially, we had a bedtime. But we used to be able to set up tents in our room, so because the beds was like a bunk bed type, it was up in the sky. So we used to set up like a tent, some maze in the room, so that when y'all when it was bedtime, turn the TV off, whatnot, we would have it turn it back on when y'all go to sleep. And then since the tent is set up, you can't really see the light that come in from there, and it's like it blocks the sound off a little bit. So we used to wake up, play the game till like 4, 3 in the morning on whatnot. And it just used to be a bonding thing.
Yeah.
It was something fun. And even with our older brother Trey, that was really how we bonded together too. Yeah. So it's more than just playing the game. I feel like for a lot of people, even if they don't realize it, when you playing the game with whoever you are, you bonding with them and y'all make memories. Because there's a lot of good memories that be coming from games like Black Ops 2, Halo Reach. Everybody know about, you know what I'm saying, the memories that those games bring to you, just from experience. But like you were saying before about environment, I feel like that, like you said, is very important because I feel like when I was growing up, I was in so many different environments. It made me not realize, like, it was hard figuring out who I was because I was being moved from so many different environments. So eventually, I feel like, when I was littler, I used to be like the weird kid, I feel like, or just different than everybody else, or just kind of outstandish. I was a little shy too back then. Didn't want to talk to other people for real. But I know one of the biggest things that helped me like break out of that was probably Ty. And I haven't really told him how much I appreciate it, but you probably don't realize it. But when he had left, he had went back with his dad. Yeah. And it was just me and all the girls really in the house. Because Trey was,
I think Trey went to school. He might have moved out and went to school. Or was that before he went to college? Right before he went, probably before he.
But I mean,
Trey was working too before he went to college. He was going to school and working.
But even if he was, he used to stay in his room all the time. He used to be in his room all the time, so it really wasn't. But when Ty came back, and I think I was going into high school, maybe 9th grade or whatnot, but he really played a big part in helping me, like, just be more out more, talk to people, because I used to be friends with his friends, you know what I'm saying? And just be more social, and you know what I'm saying? Like, learn different things socially and just going out and doing different things. It was a very big help because when I was, like I said, I was kind of shy and I was not talking to people for real. So just being able to see him and his, with his friends and hanging out was always a big help that I didn't realize till later on.
Oh yeah, I can remember that because you knew everybody at the high school, and you wasn't even at the high school yet. When you was in the 8th grade, you used to go to the games. Everybody they've been calling you Ronese for so long now, and it's like even as you, which was, like you said, it was, and I seen the change. I seen from how your confidence grew. I seen all those different things. Because it was, me and Ma used to talk, and I was like, I never want to force nothing on you, because that way it wouldn't allow you to be who you are. You know what I mean? for me to try to push you a certain way. But I used to just always be paying attention to certain things. I always watch all y'all because y'all all have y'all different ways and different things about y'all. But I did see that I used to like that too because hanging around older people would definitely help you with your confidence. Remember, I told you when I was younger, I hung around older people.
Yeah, definitely.
So when I did get in certain situations by me hanging around them older people, it gave me, I guess, kind of like the confidence to get through whatever it was I was faced with. So it definitely helps, and you learn a lot too within those times. You learn things you may want to do, things you may not want to do. You learn how to, just like you say, be sociable. Learn how to talk. Learn how to vibe with people.
All right.
And that's very important, and that's very key in young adults. You know, especially children going into high school, because after those 4 years, you pretty much consider an adult. So it's like you want to have some type of social skills as you move, gravitate away from your parents, as far as depending on them for your every want and need. So, yeah, I think that as well. So, what would you say? Um, maybe it was one of the biggest things you overcame. Maybe growing into a young teenager. Maybe what was something that you feel like you overcame at some point in your life that you felt good? You look back and say, "Proud of myself, like I overcame that."
Let me think. Maybe shy and insecure, probably. Maybe I'd say that, but let me think. Is that the biggest thing, though? I would probably say that being more confident and not being shy and outgoing, and also my having control over myself, or what's it called? Not consistency. It's another word for it, but being able to make that change from uh, regular eating to vegetarian
Oh, okay.
at like
Transition.
in eighth grade, because I started that from eighth grade to ninth grade. At the start of ninth grade, I was already a vegetarian, and I do get a lot of thanks to you for helping me do that, because without it wouldn't have been as easy for me to make that transition if you wasn't already doing certain stuff at the house, because getting groceries for things like that, and just having some of the knowledge that you gave, because that's definitely one of the things that I feel like is different from other kids that
Yeah.
probably tried. Because one of my friends, my vegan brother out there, he's the only one that used to be a vegetarian slash vegan with me in high school. But the difference from me and him is his parents probably, or he didn't probably have nobody at the house that's probably already supplying certain foods at the house for him or whatnot. So that was definitely a big help. But the other thing when I was talking about being shy and insecure, when I was young, I didn't really want to talk to people, and
Yeah.
my mom would ask me to go, can you go say you did this to somebody? I'm like, no, I just want to stay in the car, or no, I don't want to go talk to them, and a lot of things like that, and how I overcame them. I think it was really the gradual change from the food I was eating, and being observant of my surroundings and my environment with the people I mess with.
Yeah.
I always would, pay attention to stuff like that, and it's hard to talk about specific moments because it's like the change didn't happen overnight.
Oh,
It's like a bunch of different instances. So I'm trying to really think about what certain instances impacted me the most, but it's hard to think about on the spot. But that's
The change is a continuance. It continues because you grow from one stage to another, to another, to another. So even as you get older, as you continue to mature, as you continue to come into different information, you will continue to grow, and you will continue to evolve, and you will continue to become this great person that you already are. So the change is it's like it never stops.
Yeah.
because you continue to feed yourself information, and that information in return is going to continue to help you grow mentally. So, even like with me, like me and you doing the podcast, right?
Hmm.
We doing the podcast, and I'm doing the podcast with my son,
Right.
and I'm just like, we editing, we coming up with ideas. It's not me. It's not me being in the father role in the moment. It's me being kind of like your partner.
Hmm. Right.
You know, so even though I'm your father, that's not what's needed at the moment. At the moment, I need to be your partner, your friend, the person that you can talk to about this thing that we're doing.
Right.
So that way that we can be successful at this. So you might have to say, hey, Dad, look, you might want to change this and do that. And I say, okay, what you think about this? You know, it's not me, because I'm your father in the role that I play in your life. Now, I just can tell you whatever. That's just not how it works. Even like I think like even growing up when I used to come tell you even to this day, hey, can you clean up your room, please? Can you wash the dishes, please? Now I might not say it every single time, but a majority of times I will say it in a way to where it don't come off like, dang, like go down there and clean up. You know, I never, you hurry up and you need to. Now I might, like I done told you, like this the third, second, like I ain't gonna keep on, you know, maybe like that. But in the initial, I try to just come in a way, talk to a person the way that you want to be talked to. But this whole, like I was saying, this whole thing with doing this with you has definitely been something that I really appreciate, and I just want to thank you for even allowing me to do this with you and share this space because it's very needed. And the fact that you doing this at such a young age that you gonna like a rocket, you know, take off. And it's gonna be something that even once I've stepped back, so to speak, you're gonna be continue to grow and continue to do your thing. So
For sure.
yeah, just to be proud of yourself and be proud of the fact that you're able to express yourself. Now, let me ask you something. Because we getting a little bit away. Some more about your childhood in Atlanta. How was your relationship with your dad in Atlanta? Let's talk about that. How was that?
Well, my relationship with my dad was it was interesting. It always changed, I definitely say, because growing up, maybe when we was at the first house or whatnot, but I know you used to be working a lot. I know that much. Dad used to be gone all the time. What it felt like, but when you was here, when you was at the house, you always had like a good energy to you. You used to be, you know, you kind of like me, like we kind of like the same. You like doing random stuff just to make somebody laugh or smile or something like that. But I know we used to go back and forth about when you was gone all the time, and I used to get in trouble by Maya, and then because certain stuff would happen a certain way, but then she would tell you it happened this way, and then you get mad at me, and we'd be going back and forth, and that used to be a consistent thing. So I used to be mad at you. I know I always loved you, but I used to be like, since you gone all the time, you don't really know what's going on exactly at the house. So when you come back, you only hear from one side of the story. So then it's like I'm always getting in trouble, but you don't know what really I felt like happened. You only know one side. So it was very interesting. It was hard because I could talk to you about certain stuff, but when you gone and stuff happen, you only hear about like when I get in trouble or something. I feel like back then you used to only hear about when something happened. But you know, I'm pretty sure you heard about this, you know, school and all that other stuff and good things too. But that's where a lot of conflict between me and you happen. I feel like.
Well, you know, speaking on that, and that's good that you're able to talk about that. See, the thing that we have to realize too is, okay, let's just say, let's just say, m- uh, my wife did something. She like maybe she came in the room and she yelled at me, right? And she just started an argument for no reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I end up yelling at her, and now it's a big argument, right? So when a situation like that occurs, right? Even though let's say, like I said, she started the argument, right? What am I responsible for?
How you react.
Exactly. So regardless of the situation, the only thing that I can sit back and change about everything that it just transpired is my actions. That's the only thing that I can do anything to change, because I can't change this person or that person's actions. All I can do is go on what I did, regardless of the situation. Just like me going to prison, right? Somebody told on me, but I'm mad at them. You know what I mean? Like somebody told on me, but I'm mad at the person that told on me.
I mean, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, but I'm not. When I do that, I don't give myself a chance to look at what I've done and take accountability for what I've done. No matter what this person may have done, what did I do in the moment? What did I do wrong, or if any? You know what I mean? So it's just everything is a learning experience. Even for me back then, everything was a learning experience because you feel like you're juggling so many different things. So I definitely took heed to different things that you would say, and all the kids, because a lot of times y'all would confide to me because, oh, well, we can talk to you, you listen to us, and maybe not always agree with. I still had an open door policy, basically, like we can sit down and we can talk, even if we don't come to the same understanding, at least that we're able to talk about it.
Well, back in the day, before you were made the fourth tradition, you used to have a quick temper. So it wasn't really. That's why I feel like back then I become like a mama's boy, because I used to talk to my mom a lot about a lot of stuff, because, like I said, a lot of times I didn't understand why you was gone so much, and even then when you was gone for a couple months and they told me you went to the army or something,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? How you randomly go to the army and then not say nothing to nobody until you already gone?
Yeah.
So, like I said, that's why I geared towards talking to my mom more about like more regular stuff, but. Back in the day, you had a quick temper back in the day. No,
I did. And you think about it too, though. Think about what you just said about my temper, right? Now think about this as well. 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when I became vegan, right?
Right.
Think about how my transition into vegan, and then also my behavior and my attitude all started to change when I changed my diet.
Nah, yeah.
Did you see a difference in my, like?
I can see one right now.
Yeah.
Just from it's because back then you wasn't so geared on changing yourself. Like, I mean, you always was, because like you said, you turned vegan, but you wasn't really worried about how you acted. You was worried about what you was eating. But once you start changing what you eat, and you start thinking more, which then you start thinking about yourself, and like you start making that slow transition.
Yeah.
But like I said, I could definitely, like, when you look at you right now, if you keep doing the same stuff, you're only gonna keep getting the same output. But once you started changing, you keep changing, you get better and better if that's what you're trying to do. But if you're doing something bad, you can get worse and worse. Yeah. So I definitely see the change, cause it wasn't too much talking when you was before.
It wasn't too much talking, but the threat of a whooping was nothing that you kind of. Oh, if I don't be quiet, my dad gonna whoop you, because I never whooped you. So.
Well, you was out working, so you wasn't doing no whooping, but I definitely get whoopings when you all the.
Well, we was doing the music then, so we used to travel a lot when we was doing that, and that was taking a lot of my time.
I did a lot of stuff I didn't understand. Like that's why I said in one of the episodes you was in, like, um, we judge our parents because we don't know
Yeah.
what's going on or what they've been through. Because it felt like when I was growing up, you was gone like a lot,
Yeah.
and I didn't know why. So I kind of was like, I really like, I'm like, yeah, where dad? Why he always on? But I'm not understanding that you gotta, as a man, you gotta do certain stuff. You trying to provide and whatnot. But back then, I'm not thinking that. I'm just like, where my dad at?
Yeah.
I'm out here all the time. I'm getting in trouble, and when you come back, it's either I'm getting in trouble by you because of something I did while you was gone and you heard about it or something like that. And
we having that conversation. I'm saying, well, sit down.
yeah, like what?
But when I did come back, though, I mean, I will do. Well, let me ask you before I even just say this. Do you feel like did you do it? Did y'all go places? Did y'all do things? Have fun like bowling, swimming? Did y'all Six Flags or was it? Did you guys get out much or what would you say?
To my memory, I do remember going out a lot. Remember we went to Stone Mountain a couple of times, but we did like go out and do things. But a lot of times I was doing a lot of stuff with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like we had like another routine. My mom, she used to come get me from your house and we used to go straight to the movies. So we used to go get some snacks to sneak into the movies, you know what I'm saying? And then go watch a movie, then go back to her house. Or we used to have movie nights together, and like all the time. And then we used to like she had a Six Flags season pass, so we used to go up there a lot of the time, and like bowling, just going a bunch of different places. Cause my mom always had somewhere to go or coupons or this or that discounts. Yeah. So it was always, you know what I'm saying, going out. And sometimes, I remember some occasions that Ty and them used to be able to come with us and whatnot. But
and y'all used to be over there running wild.
Yeah, I used to have so much fun at my mom's house, just because your house used to be big, basement, hide and go seek. I remember she had a backyard that was slanted, so it was going down like this. So when it was winter, when it snowed, like miraculously, because Georgia don't get no snow ever for real, but one of them snow years,
the ice probably.
Yeah, the hill iced over, so when you went to the backyard, you would just slide down to the bottom. It was just so fun. It's like, what the heck? Just some random things that experiences as a kid, but I did get to go out a lot. I feel like compared to if anybody else, I think.
Yeah, definitely got out a lot. Did a lot of things. Did you, when you got to high school, what was like probably one of your biggest hurdles in high school? Or did you feel like you had a big hurdle? Or how was high school for you, after you going through your freshman year? Because I know when you started off your freshman year, you still had situations where you were kind of like getting, not in trouble, but you weren't turning in homework or little things like that your first semester. And it seems like your second semester came of your freshman year, and from there on, you just was doing everything you were supposed to do. Like, what was it to make you click, or was it anything? Like, what you think made you want to start changing and doing better?
I feel like what made me that change, I don't know. I feel like I said, I used to be a bad kid. I was even a bad kid.
No, you weren't really
I was
bad.
just rebellious because I didn't go for certain things. I just wasn't going back then. So I used to always fight back because I'm not finna just go for that or go for this. But one thing I guess I realized maybe that somebody told me was like, I just feel like I was getting in trouble a lot. So, but they say if you don't give them a reason to say something to you, then you won't get, they won't have nothing to tell you. So
that was a conversation me and you had.
Yeah, I think something like that.
I said, well, if you wasn't doing nothing, what can a person say? You was like, nothing. I was like, well, don't do nothing.
Yeah, I feel like that might have played a part, but I still certain stuff I still didn't do. But school started becoming just easy to me. It
Okay.
just because I remember I did not study. Like I did not usually study for stuff. It just started becoming like something like I just did, and then I started excelling just naturally. I don't know. It just started coming to me, but it didn't used to be like that. Like used to have some C's and stuff.
You know what? Let me think. So your freshman year, when did you become vegan?
I became vegan. Oh wow, yeah, I became vegetarian the end summer of 8th grade. So going into 9th grade, I was vegetarian. But then I became vegan the beginning of my senior year, I think.
Okay. I know you started to change your diet, and I think that made it play a role in it too.
Yeah, because I didn't even realize that. But yeah, all my high school years, I was vegetarian.
Yeah.
And before high school, I was like, grade wise, I was always either up there or down here.
Yeah,
So it was
up and
going back
down.
and forth. But
Yeah.
from 9th grade, like you said, after the second semester, it was just easy for me.
Yeah.
I feel like that might have played because I didn't even realize, I didn't even connect the dots. But like I said, I was vegetarian from 9th grade to 11th grade. Then I became vegan.
Yeah.
But yeah, after, like you said, 9th grade, second semester, stuff was just. I wouldn't say high school was super easy, but it wasn't like I was stressing about.
It was less. I feel like it was less complicated for you than in middle school.
Oh yeah, I feel like too. Yeah, I
If
feel
you
like.
think about it, because you started to show that you became mature.
Hmm.
You became
Yeah,
a lot more mature.
The way I ate probably played a big part in that. But you don't realize I'm still young, so I'm not realizing all the effects it's having on me. But that definitely probably was a big one. And
Yeah, you got to think you became more. You were always active, but
oh no, it definitely.
you were always active. You got, like I said, the creek, the trampoline, all those different things. Like you were an active kid. You was outside, but I think once your diet changed, you became active in different ways. Put it like that. Like you were more worried about your body, because it was a time when that was something that you dealt with. That I don't know.
Definitely, I forgot to tell them in middle school I was in playing football too, and our school had 2 years in a row no games lost.
Yeah.
So that definitely played a part. And even in high school, I was definitely active still. They used to call me like the try hard in school, or why I always had so much energy. I used to be like always doing the most, or I'm a hustler. Like I used to just have all the energy, and everybody always used to wonder like, why you got so much energy all the time?
Yeah.
And I guess that eventually I didn't realize it at first. I used to just tell them like, that's just me.
Yeah.
But later on in my high school years, I'd be telling them that's that vegan energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, all you eat grass, the jokes and whatnot. But I'm like, that's why I got all the energy, because that's the way I eat.
That's why you're active, and a lot of people, they breathing hard, and even young people now. So
not definitely, because when I was in middle school, I was chubby. I was a little chubby, had long arms, kind of a stomach that came out a little bit, and just like
never
flimsy
take your
legs.
shirt off.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I remember even going down to Alton. That's where I really didn't want to take my shirt off, because Alton, they don't care. You get Joan, flamed, all that other stuff back then. So I was, like I said, I was shy and insecure, so I didn't want to take my shirt off.
Yeah, now you can't keep it on. Get 2 or 3 muscles and the whole world changed. But what made you want to become vegan though? What was that all about?
I was working this job. It was my first job. I was working at Stevie B's.
Oh, I remember Stevie B's.
Yeah, that was a very interesting job.
Stevie B's.
Because I used to work. Yeah, okay. But I was working this job. I used to be the one, first I was the one doing the dishes. Then I moved to like making the pieces back in the back. But like I said, I was vegetarian. I used to make like cheese pieces, put the vegetables on it. Yeah. But I did this experiment
Okay.
At the job, because I was trying to figure out, does dairy and milk, because that's the real thing that changed you from vegetarian to vegan, the dairy and the milk you be having. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna figure out if this really plays a role on how my body works and how I interact with people.
Yeah.
So what I did was I made a pizza. I used to make pizzas with no cheese on it.
Yeah.
And just the sauce, the veggies, maybe some barbecue or something like that. I used to make it real nice so it's not nasty. I ate that pizza, then I started working and I was cool.
Yeah.
Then I had a pizza where I put all the cheeses on it. I put a bunch of cheese, put a little seasonings and stuff, whatnot. And after I ate the cheese pizza, I was did not want to work no more. I was slouchy, sluggish, didn't want to talk to nobody. I just wanted to go to the break room and just lay back. And it was that day, it was that realization. I was like, wow, it's really that different. Yeah. And that's what the dairy do to you. Yeah. That's what the dairy do. So I was like,
dairy is scary.
Dairy is very scary. So that's what made me make that change, because I did a little experience to see how it affects the body, and that's how it did, and that's all I needed. Yeah. It was my own
own life experience.
Yeah, so that's why I tell people, you should try to see for yourself. You don't have to take our word for it, or you can look it up. Just do different things to see how your body reacts to certain stuff. So
even though I was vegan, what you're telling the viewers is I'd never try to force that on you.
Yeah, no, definitely not, because a lot of the kids that's in the house still wasn't vegetarian or vegan or none of that, because I mean they had their own reasons, but if you were forcing it on them, they would have also had to be and whatnot, but you wasn't. It was our own choice. But when you hearing different information from somebody that that's only trying to help you, you obviously I'm gonna test it out for my own. I'm not just gonna. I mean, since you saying it, I'm gonna see what you're talking about and see for my own. So it wasn't just you doing it, so then I did it. No, I was doing things to see how it affected me.
That's the best way to do it. You always, you want to take heed to what people say, but to have your own life experiences, what's greater than that? Because now you can judge a certain situation off what you encounter, whatever you went through, not what someone else is telling you. So to have your own experience is definitely the best teacher in the world, experience. So definitely glad that you were able to do that on your own and make that decision on your own. So we coming to the end, and we still got some things to dig into. So I guess on the next episode we will do that. But if there's something that you would just tell someone, especially a young man who's out there, who may be feeling all alone, he don't have a father, he don't have nobody to talk to, he may have a mom, but maybe he don't feel comfortable expressing himself. What would you tell that young man the best thing for him maybe to do to get a hold of himself and just build up his self-confidence? What would you tell him to do?
I guess the first thing I say for him to do was take a look at his surroundings, see who you're around, where you're around, and think about how it's affecting you. Mm-hmm. If you know that it's affecting you in a bad way, or it's just making you act a certain way, then that's the first thing you need to change. If it's your friends, and I know you can't move from a house you might be at or something like that, but if you realize how it's affecting you, you can always do different things to counteract that. And then the next thing I would say is to pay attention to what you're eating, see how that's affecting you next, because you don't have to wouldn't tell nobody to go straight from regular eating to vegan. Don't ever do that. Pace yourself. Yeah. So take out certain things, and then eventually you can go to being vegetarian. Yeah. And then eventually, just like working out, you're not going to see the results in a day or two. Mm-hmm. You just got to wait. And during that whole process, you always got to have faith. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to keep you going, because you know that deep inside, you're making the change. It's all about the mental. So once you see these things and are able to start changing them, that's the biggest change that's going to happen. Is just in your head.
Oh, definitely.
So, like I said, environment, then how you eat. And then if you don't have confidence, you need to get in the gym. Yeah. You need to get in the gym. So those three things I feel like are the most important thing to start changing your mental and feeling alone. Because I know I didn't tackle the alone part, but once you start doing those different things, you'll start finding the people that's just like that, or that's trying to change. So
you draw them to you.
Yeah, when you start going better, you start bringing better towards you. So
Yeah.
don't worry about the people. I would say the people will come to you in a way. And I don't say that to say that they just gonna come straight to you, hey, but you will get put in certain situations because you decided to change. That will allow you to meet those type of people.
Definitely. So for all the young men out there, I hope y'all listening, and I hope there's something that he said something that you can take with you and apply to your life, because you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and see that you are the future. You are the future leaders of this world. So take your life serious, take your health serious, take your mental health serious, and don't be afraid to seek help if it's something that's on your mind that you really need to talk to somebody about. Don't be afraid. Just go to somebody that you can trust, that you can confide in, and get the help that you need. And once again, we come to an end. Generational health and self-love. It's always a beautiful time spending with the viewers, and we just trying to heal and just trying to continue to build self-confidence and self-love. So,
the next episode, we gonna go more into there's some certain experiences I had in high school that made me make the full change mentally, and also certain stuff that happened when I was younger in middle school that helped me make a change. So that's how we're gonna end that.
As always,
that was the perfect nap.
Well, we out of here. Peace and love, everybody. Y'all take care. Have a great day.